Once Ubuntu 14.04 is freshly installed as a virtual machine in VirtualBox, there's one last step. You may notice the screen stuck in 640 by 480 or some other small resolution. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to configure Ubuntu with VirtualBox Guest Additions to allow for easy resolution changes. So the first thing we need are 3 utilities installed inside of Ubuntu, which we can do from the command line. So in this case, I'm going to go to the Ubuntu search tool, the desktop search, and select terminal. If it's not there to begin with, you might have to search for it. Just search for term or terminal and it'll come up. Then once we're on the command line, we're going to use the apt package manager. So we'll do sudo, which means to run this command as root, or superuser do apt-get. And I'm not going to worry too much about this for now. And we're going to install these packages. So dkms for dynamic kernel module support, build essential, essential tools for compiling software packages, and module assistant. This allows us to build kernel modules. So once these are installed, it'll ask for the password to run as superuser. That's the local, my Steve Scott password. So let me type that in again. Now it says I've already installed it. I've already gone through this once. It'll give you an install. It might say, prompt you yes or no. Do you wish to install these packages? Say yes. It'll go through the install. And once you're back at the command prompt, you want to do sudo ma prepare. So it's our module assistant prepare function. And now that that's done, we can go into our devices menu in VirtualBox and then select insert guest additions CD image. You'll hear it shows host plus D as the shortcut key. The host key is defined in VirtualBox, but by default it's typically the right control key. So if I do right control D, it'll also insert this guest addition CD image. So if I click it, it should come up. Ubuntu will think it's a CD being put in the drive, and it will ask us to run the software on it. And I'm just going to select run because I do trust it. And I'll enter my password again to give it permission. And now it's doing the install of our guest additions. So this lets VirtualBox communicate a little bit better in terms of display drivers or display hardware and possibly other hardware with Ubuntu. So it's going to take a few moments to build and install. Once it installs, we'll reboot the system, and then we can resize our VirtualBox and have our Ubuntu inside of VirtualBox, our virtual machine, resize as well. So the desktop will follow however big our VirtualBox window is. So once it's done, we press return or enter to close the window. Then we'll go to our power button here. We'll do a shutdown and just a basic restart. Now that we've restarted, we can log in again. And once the desktop comes up, I'm going to resize the screen. So you'll see here it's still quite small. And if I open up a window, let's say settings, and let's look at something like appearance, you can see how it's cut off here. But if I want to move the window over, all the way over to the left, and drag this bottom corner all the way over, you'll see that the appearance changes and the size of Ubuntu matches the size of the desktop. If it didn't auto resize the desktop in Ubuntu, you could go here in the view menu and auto resize guest display. So that'll tell it to auto resize when we're dragging it and increasing the window size. And that concludes this demo on setting up VirtualBox Guest Additions with Ubuntu 14.04.